In this video, I'm going to show you the basic parts of the TipTopnails site and show you how to use and change items on your site. And it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple, and I will go through those things with you, starting with logging in. And so to log into your site, you'll go to your URL /wp-admin. And here you'll put in the username and password that we've given you. And then you'll be logged in. So the things you need to pay attention to once you're logged in are over here in this left-hand column in the black. And so I'm going to work my way down through this list and explain how to use each of these things that are pertinent to your site. So starting with updates, this is where your updates for any plugins or your WordPress theme are located. And so you can see there's something to be updated. If you ever run into some issues, this might be the first place to look and you can update your plugins. We currently run a program for all of our sites that we host that we update plugins for you regularly. So those are done for you. And so occasionally there's obviously a gap between when we do it and something could need updated, but if you never want to worry about this, you virtually never have to. Occasionally, sometimes if something goes wrong on a site, it'll be because you need to update the plugin, and then you can come over here and do that. Moving down to posts, this is for people who use blog posts, and we don't even really need this plugin. It's just something that's on here. You're not using that currently. If you ever would like to, you can let us know. Moving on to media, this is where all of your photos or any images are located. And if you want to view any of your photos or upload any photos, you do that by clicking Add New here. Anywhere that you would need a picture or a image, it'll give you the option to add it, but if you want to add it through here, that's also fine. You can either select files or drag them and drop them here, and then they will be in your library. But it's just a place where you can go and look and see all of them all together. Moving on to forms, you have a contact form, and that is located here. The way that contact forms usually work is pretty intuitive. So all you have on yours is a name, email, and a message. And if you want to add any additional fields, you can come over here and select a field and it will show up at the bottom. So then if you want to put it someplace else, you just drag it wherever you want it to go. And if you click on it, then you can change the label of the field if you'd like and type whatever you want there. You could also make it a required field. You can duplicate the field with this button, or you can get rid of it altogether, which we'll do since we don't need that. And if you make any changes, click update. There's things like radio buttons. So if you want to have an option for people to select different things, then you can change the title of it and then change the title of these options and then add or remove options. And so I'm going to get rid of this as well since we don't need it. And then if you go into settings, you can look and see notifications. This is who is receiving the notifications for these forms. And so it looks like this is the email where the forms are going to. If you want to change that, all you'd need to do is come to the send to email and change it right there. Or you can duplicate this field and then add an additional field. And all you'd have to do is just change that send to email there. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that since we don't want it. And then you can also view your entries of your form here. And it looks like we don't have any, just the test that we sent when we launched the site. And that's where these would be located. They will go to the inbox for that email I just showed you. But if you want to view them here, that's where you can view them. That's basically everything you would need to know there. Under pages, we'll move on to that. We have a home page, an about us, and a specials page. So let's start with specials. And this is where you have your, it looks like a graphic for like kind of like a coupon. And so if you want to get rid of this graphic, all you do is click on it and click remove. And if you want to add a new graphic, wherever your cursor is, that's where it will add it. So you can go to add media and then upload a new file if you have a new coupon, and then select it and then insert it into the page. And then you can align it in the center and you can edit it and you can change the size of it as well. So you can make it full size, you can customize the size, you can make it a thumbnail, whatever you think, whatever you want. And like I said, I'll get rid of that because we don't need it. But that's where you would update those deals right there. And then click update when you make any changes. And let's look at the About Us page. This has a Foo Gallery. So we have some wording here, and then this is a short code for Foo Gallery. So if you look, there's this side of the text, and then there's this text side of the editor, and you can see the Foo Gallery short code right here. We also have a featured image set on this page, which is set over here through the featured image, and I can click and select any picture I want for that and click set featured image. And then you can choose crop featured image to crop what part of the image you're seeing. And as you can see, we want to get the good part of the photo and not like just the floor or anything, so it's cropped there. And then you would click crop it, and then that's how you edit that. And you can see also that these phone numbers are hyperlinked, and the way you hyperlink things are by highlighting them and then insert a hyperlink. So I can type in a URL, or so I can type in or whatever page you want to link to. And then for this one, that's how you hyperlink a phone number. So you just use the TEL and then the colon there. And that's how you hyperlink that. And I'm going to go ahead and remove that link because we don't want it. And yeah, this basically works like any word processing tool like Microsoft Word. You can bold or italicize or bullet anything. You can adjust how things are aligned and add photos, anything like that. So let's take a look at the home page. So the home page looks fairly similar to these. It just has separate sections. And at the top, you have short code for a revolution slider. And once we get down a little bit further, I'll show you how the revolution slider works. But there's nothing you need to worry about here if you never want to change the slider at the top, which you probably won't. So I can show you how to edit those things in just a moment. So then if I want to look at the next thing, I can scroll down here. We have About Us, and that's the information here if you want to edit any of that. This is formatted as a button. You can see right there, that's how we got that to say learn more, and then it's hyperlinked to the home page. The home page, or it should be hyperlinked to the About page. Yeah, there we go. It is hyperlinked to the About page. So under our services, we've got this list here. So if you ever want to edit this list, you can edit it just by typing in whatever or changing any of these things. And then the background is set through background. And so we have this photo in the background, and then we have this color overlay over the top of it. It looks like we actually have that color set so that you can't really see the hands too much. It's pretty dark. So the opacity of that blackness is changed through here, and then the color is changed by dragging this. And the spacing, you don't really need to worry about anything there. So we'll move on to testimonials. This is done through a separate plugin, so we just have shortcode there. You can see the background on this one. You can see a little better on this site here. So the background has these nails and then this red color, and you can see it's a little bit more translucent than the last one. And the custom Facebook feed is done through a different plugin as well. So this just auto-populates straight from your Facebook, and you never have to update this at all. So there's really nothing you need to do unless you change your Facebook page, which I don't foresee being something that happens. And that's everything. The other stuff is located in the footer, and I will show you that in just a moment. So that's everything for the home page that you would need to worry about. If you make any changes, be sure to click update. The next thing is comments, which is not enabled on your site in any place. The Foo Gallery is what's on that About page. And so all you'd need to do, this is set up so that it looks nice and good. The only thing you would need to do is is rearrange these photos. So if you want to drag them in a different order, if you want to get rid of some, you can click the delete button. And if you want to add new media, you just select new pictures and click add media. And then when you're done, be sure to click update. If you want to add this gallery somewhere else, the shortcode is right there. And if you want to change any of the settings on the gallery, that's done through these items. But like I said, probably not going to want to do that since it looks good. You can create a new gallery and put a new gallery in another page if you'd like. Those are all things that we can help you with if you need help at some point. Moving on. Testimonials is next, and this is, like I said, where we have those testimonials that are on your homepage. And so if you click on one, you can edit them so that you can see that the name is here. But if you scroll down, you also need to make sure that I guess that is where the name is. Okay, perfect. So, and then you put the testimonial here, and then when you scroll down, you just need to make sure it's selected as testimonials so that it will show up on the rotator that we've created. So they should all look basically like that. The quote would go here, the name would go here, and if you scroll down, you just want to make sure it's attached to testimonials, and then it's given a 5-star rating. And then click update if you make any changes, and add new if you want to add any additional ones. The name goes here, the quote goes here, and like I said, testimonial, select this and make sure you give it a 5-star rating and click publish, and it will show up on the homepage for you. And that's all you need to know there. Genesis is the theme of your site, nothing we really need to talk about. Under appearance, we have 2 things to talk about, widgets and menus. Under widgets, this is where we can see the stuff in the footer that I was talking about, these items down here. And we can also see what's in the header. So let me show you once it gets done loading. Whoops. There we go. Okay, so under the header, you have your logo. You can choose a different image if you end up editing your logo and choose it through here. Make sure it links to your URL and then click save down here. And then we have the navigation menu. So we have a primary menu and we have a social media menu. And if you ever want to change that, I mean, that's where those things are located. You probably won't change those. Under footer, that's where your next things are. We have this visual editor with your business hours and your addresses and your phone numbers hyperlinked. So this is where this is located over here. And if any of that changes, that's where you can change it. So, and then like I said, you would click save in the bottom right hand corner there. And then the Google Map plugin, we have a map saved there, and so we only have one map, and that's where it is, so I can show you where that is located. Then on this part, we have our contact us form. Nothing you'd really need to change there. And then underneath that is the social media menu or the Facebook menu. So if you want to add a new form, if you want to add a Foo Gallery somewhere in the footer, you know, these type of things. Basically, how this works is you choose something from over here and then select it and add it where it goes in these places. If you start adding things to the footer or the header, you might end up with some formatting issues and you might end up needing help with that. So if you do mess anything up or have issues, you can let me know and I will help you get that fixed. So that's basically everything you would need to know under widgets. I think the main thing is those places where you could maybe change the hours or location. And so under menus, this is where you can edit what's in the menu on your primary menu on the homepage. That's what's up here. And I think everything makes sense up there. You've got our services, which links directly to the part of the homepage that is labeled services, about us, and specials link to their own page, and then the contact portion links to the contact portion in the footer. There's not really anything you would need to know here. If you add an additional page, if you add a new page, you'd come over here and select it and add it to the menu. It'll show up at the bottom and you can put it wherever you want. You can make it a sub-menu item. You can change the name of the item to the navigation label to something else, or you can remove it. If you want to add a link to an outside site, you would do custom URL and paste the URL here, and the link text would go here. And then save if you make any changes. Then we'll go to social here, and if you go to the social menu, it's just got Facebook. So if you want to add an additional social media item, all you'd need to do is go to custom links and copy and paste this nav label here into here. And then where it says Facebook in these two places, you would change it to say Twitter or YouTube or whatever social media you would want it to say, and then just add add the URL here and click add to menu, and it will show up and look good. And that's everything you need to know there. Also, I did forget to mention under widgets, there is a before header category, and that's what's up here with your addresses and phone numbers, and that can be edited here as well. Plugins, this is what I was talking about earlier, making your site function and occasionally needing updates. So if you want to add additional plugins, you can just go to add new and then look for new plugins to update and do things on your site. I don't think that that's something that you will need to do, but if you want help with that or have questions about that, let us know. Users, this is how you create admin users. So if you need to create a new user, you can go to add new, or if you want to change your password, you can change that through here and generate a new password, or type in your new password and then click update user. To add a new user, you'll just put in their username, and then you have to have an email that's associated with the account. Then you can copy and paste this password and make them an administrator so that they can log in at WP-admin. But you just want to be careful about passwords, making sure that they're strong, and making sure you don't give access to your site to anybody that you wouldn't trust. Under tools and settings, custom fields, and SEO, these are things that aren't pertinent to things that you will ever need to change. SEO is just a plugin we use to monitor SEO for people who want that service from us. And under Facebook feed, this is what populates the Facebook feed on your homepage. But like I said, we've got that all set up, and we have your Facebook URL here, and you don't ever need to worry about this. Under slider revolution, this is what makes up your main feature here at the top. And so what we have here is your photo as the background. It's taking just a second to load. So we have this homepage slider here. And so for this image, we have the main background is set as that photo. And under static or global layers, this is where you can see the words that are on top of your slider. So we'll go ahead and show them on the slide so we can see kind of what it looks like. I don't know why it's not doing that. But you can see I can double click on this if I want to change what it says. And I don't foresee that you'll change much. You can change the color of the text here or here. You can change the size of your font. You can change the font if you'd like on either of these items. You can change the font weight on any of those items. If you want to make additional updates to this, you can let us know and we'll get more in depth and show you kind of how that works. But for now, it kind of looks good the way it is. These things they use animation, so when you come to the site, they kind of flip in like that, and you can see that they're staggered down here so that it works just right. Those are the main things there. If you want to change some things on that or have more questions, you can let me know and I'd be happy to help. Wordfence is what we set up so that we can monitor the safety and make sure no one tries to hack the site or anything like that. Under Google Maps, this is where we have the map created for this part of the footer. And the only thing you need to know is under Manage Locations, you have your 2 locations here. And if you want to edit them, if they change, you would just edit them under the location address and just start typing in. It will give you a suggestion. Then if you make changes, just click Save Location. And then under Manage Maps, if you want to edit this, then you can change the height of the map. You can change any of these settings. We have it selected so that both of your locations are on there. If you add a third location, you would just go to Add Location. And like I said, start typing in that address, and then it will show up here, and then you can select it and show it on this map. And then these are all the settings for the map. Obviously, we have it set up looking good, but if you want to make any changes, then you just click Save Map at the end. And that's everything. That's basically everything for how your site works. If you run into any issues or have more questions, let us know, and we'd be happy to help you.